Well, hey everybody, your good buddy 650 Eve here, coming to you from Ducati Detroit. And we're going to talk about the differences between the all-new 2022 Panigale V4 S and the outgoing 2021 V4 S. These bikes are different in quite a few ways. Let's start with the winglets. You can see that they've added an air duct to these beautiful winglets, made them more slim, and they look very, very nice in the machine. As we take a look at the old ones here, very massive, cool looking for sure, but not as sleek and refined as on the new bike. And we know that this 1103cc V4 engine creates a lot of heat, and they've tried to remedy that by adding more air ducts to the bike. In the pictures, they didn't look that hot, but in person, guys, they look amazing, actually. It's very uniform. It's very, very nice, I mean, I must say. And there's a huge difference for the airbox. A lot of people think this is the fuel tank, but the fuel tank on the Panigale V4 is actually right there under the bike. This is more of an airbox, and it has been reduced as well and slimmed up so that your leg, when you sit on the bike, really, really hugs that airbox. Wow. And there's a feeling you get. It's a lot different than my V4R for sure, and a lot different than the outgoing 2021 Panigale V4 S that you see right there. But one of the most radical changes and the most obvious is the gauges. So now the gauges are all new. They're straight from the outgoing Superleggera V4, and they look absolutely nice. Now you can see the various controls there. DTC, Ducati traction control, Ducati wheelie control, Ducati slide control, and engine braking control are all nicely lined up there, and they're different colors. For example, DWC is blue, and when that is active, when you're actually using wheelie control, it actually lights up to let you know that it's engaged. That is really, really nice. Tachometers at the very top now, really nice. This thing revs to 15,500 RPM. Really nice. And you got a really big gear indicator and speedometer right there in the center. Well, the speedometer is actually up towards the left, so that's just a gear indicator, which is really good when you're on the track to know what gear you're in. And you'll be able to see that big and bold on the refined motorcycle. More beautiful mesh air inlets there to help keep this bike cool. The seat is really, really comfortable, and I like the different color that it has here. The black and the red looks really nice compared to the outgoing bike. And the wheels, the Marchesini forged wheels look great. The addition of this red stripe's pretty cool. As you see on the old bike, you don't have that. So that's pretty cool. Now the old bike, the 2021, this is Ducati Detroit's demo machine, so it does have some aftermarket parts that I like to install, including the clear wet clutch cover, which is really cool, and it has the Akrapovic exhaust on the bike as well. The stock 2022 doesn't have that, but what you see is a really nicely refined Panigale V4 S from Ducati. Looking forward to riding this bike and really experiencing the differences that the bike has to offer on the road and on the track. And we also have the beautiful Streetfighter SP. What a gorgeous, gorgeous bike. Carbon fiber wheels come standard. Aluminum airbox or fuel tank, if you want to call it that, it's right there. This one has some accessories on it as well. Looks really beautiful. The winglets are a great, great choice with the Italian flag colors. It looks amazing. But this is the bike that stole the show here at the event today, the Desert X. Beautiful bike. Huge 21-inch front wheel. And it's just an amazing on-road and definitely off-road capable machine, which is what it was really designed for. All of the lights on this bike are LED. Can't touch, sit on, or start this bike right now, but the gauges are beautiful. 2022 Panigale V4 S. 2021 Panigale V4 S. Big differences between the two bikes. As you take a look at the side fairings on the 2022 model, it looks really, really nice with the added ventilation to keep that engine cool. super nice. But really, I think the main takeaway that I have for this bike is the way that it feels when you sit on it. What the heck? Okay, that's a mannequin. Scared me for a minute. The way that it feels when you sit on the bike, the changes they made to the fuel tank air box, really, really nice and sleek. Really a great feeling to be on the bike. Let's take a look at the Multistrada V4 over here. So this is the Multistrada V4 S, and you can see it has a dual-sided swinging arm, okay? Not really my favorite, but when you walk over to this guy, wow, you can't help but to fall in love on sight with the single-sided swinging arm on the Pikes Peak. Pikes Peak is prominently listed there. The colorway is great, but look at these beautiful red Brembo calipers that are standard on the Pikes Peak edition. They make the bike look great. Carbon fiber wind deflector, carbon fiber front fender that has some red paintwork in it as well. Carbon fiber throughout the bike. This bike, of course, has the adaptive cruise control, and the radar for the cruise control is right there. So make sure you keep that clean of bugs and stuff, and so that you can get your adaptive cruise control working. Blind spot monitoring is also on this machine, as you can see from the light right there. Little things really draw my attention on motorcycles, and one of my favorite pieces on this bike is the mirror stalk and how it's curved out from a piece of gorgeous aluminum. As I mount the machine and take a seat on this beautiful bike, those mirrors are just beautiful. Easy to adjust. You're not going to be looking at your elbow all the time. You're actually going to be able to see the bikes that you pass and the automobiles that you pass behind you instead of constantly looking at your elbow. On both sides, it's amazing, but take a look at some of the most clear gauges that I have seen on a modern motorcycle. And that is on this beautiful Pikes Peak Multistrada V4. Look at that. Totally brilliant TFT, huge gauges, gear indicator in the middle, speedometer on the left, and your tachometer right there. The red line on this bike is 10,000 RPM. The battery's low because everybody's been turning it on all day. And the dials here are illuminated in red. So you're not going to be fishing for what you're looking for at night like you do on other bikes, because it's backlit red and everything's controlled with this beautiful handy joystick. As you see, you can do a whole bunch of things. When you connect your helmet, preferably your Sena, to your Ducati, you'll be able to get turn-by-turn navigation. You'll be able to see your text messages that fly up on the screen, and you'll be able to have caller ID with pictures and things like that once you connect your Sena device. Of course, it works with other Bluetooth devices too, but you should all be using Senas because they are the best. I love these tinted reservoirs. That's a very nice touch. Everything on this bike is really laid out nicely, and we will power it off. It's keyless, and it even has a charging port, USB charging port right there. That is a great motorcycle. So we've covered pretty much all of the new bikes from the Ducati lineup for 2022. This is definitely one of my favorites, man. I am actually looking at possibly adding this to my collection, the Multistrada Pikes Peak. As we end the video by taking a look again at the beautiful 2022 Panigale V4 S next to its 2021 outgoing model. Those bikes are just gorgeous. Absolutely beautiful. All right, folks, thanks so much for viewing this video on the updated Ducati lineup for 2022. I hope you can make it out to Ducati Detroit or your local Ducati dealer and at least check out these vehicles, these motorcycles in person. I think you'll like them. These guys like them as they're all packed up in their duffel bags. These are not live people, they're just mannequins that they're gonna haul out of here along with the rest of these bikes. All right, folks, thanks so much for viewing. We'll catch you next time on the 650 YouTube channel. I'm in love with this 2022 Panigale V4 S.